To our weekly show. I'm Sylvia Rangkuti, trader and your host today of Learn to Trade Online show. Well, Paul Botterill will begin the show. Paul, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Paul Botterill. I'm the founder of Actions to Wealth and Online Trading Profits.
Hi guys, I'm Simon Williams, crypto trader and crypto investor extraordinaire.
And my name is Ash Ball, and I am a trader and professional investor. Welcome to the show.
Okay, now
Cheers guys, let's talk about how you too let's talk about how you next week can win $2,000 in this show. It's a really simple process. Time is limited, so let me get you straight there to see how you can make $2,000 next week. Here we go. You've got to come to this page, Learn to Trade Online. The link to that trade is being put up as we speak. And when you get to this page, this private group, Learn to Trade Online, come down to the first post, which is pinned here. Submit your name for the 6th of November trading competition. Put your name in here. And see, Mary put her name, Mary C. Sheila put her name. Sheila, just come in here, and Jay Marie's in. Hi, Jay Marie. Nice to see you along. Alvin, Danica, come along and put your name in there. And if you put your name in there, we're going to put you on the wheel of names. And if we draw you out, you'll have the choice to do one of two things. You can either place a trade, and if your trade beats us, you win $2,000, or you'll know our trades by then, and you can steal our trades. And if the trade you steal wins over the next week, you'll win $2,000. We'll come back and have a decider for you. We'll have a decider for you next Monday. So you let us know today, next Monday we'll be back again. Now, without further ado, let's have a look at last week's trades. Great to see so many of you in the room. And perhaps before we do last week's trades, let's have a look at the record so far for us.
It's got to be pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, man, I think it's okay. You know, it's not sitting. Can you guys see it clearly at the bottom? It's not showing on my Zoom. There we go. So 6 weeks ago, we put $1,500 into a trading account. We've made $1,914 of bank profit. So that would be 130% in 6 weeks. That's a really good return. All trades taken live in front of you. 130% profit over 6 weeks. Gotta love that. Now let's have a look at the trades from last week. Top trade of the week was mine, $200 in profit on New Zealand dollars. New Zealand dollar. I did say we may see a bottom in the New Zealand dollar. I'm not sure we've seen that yet, but we'll see how the coalition talks go over here. We may well have seen that bottom put back in. Simon also in the profit at 122, and our guest last week had profit around break even. And I did think that trade was a really good trade. I watched it during the week, and I thought it was well worth a go for you as well. James will now delete those trades, and we'll go on to the trades that we're going to take for this week. Back to you, Sylvie.
Okay, next up is our trader investor, Ash Bull. He's gonna show us his analysis and chart pattern for this week. Ash, back to you.
Thank you very much, Sylvie. So yes, we're going to talk about the chart pattern of the week, and we are going to talk from the Aussie Kiwi. So the Aussie Kiwi, if we bring this up.
Oh, Ash, can we do our trade of the week now and do the chart pattern later?
Okay, sure thing. Okay, so my trade of the week is this Euro CAD, and I'm going short on the Euro CAD. I've toyed around with a few things. Got to be honest, the market
don't want to jump in, but you're showing us a Euro Swiss chart.
Euro Swiss. Sorry, my mistake. I was looking at the first letter, but yeah, that is the correct chart. Euro Swiss chart, and I'm going short on the Euro Swiss. I think last week's reaction to the market, generally speaking, was well overcooked. I think that the hope that we are kind of out of the woods is way too early. And I look at the European zone's economy, and I think this is just seeing no growth whatsoever. I like the Swissy because it's got some protection when it comes down to some risk. And we are right on top of resistance. Now, you could argue we're through it. And if this is through it, then of course this is going to go higher. But I can see a retracement coming in here. This is a weekly chart. When I go down to the dailies, then you can even tighten this up a little bit more and come right up to that particular peak there. And that leads us to just about where we are with resistance. So Euro Swiss is my trade of the week, mate, and I am going short on the Euro Swiss.
Oh, but that's a little bit of horizontal support there as well. Sorry, back to Sylvie.
Okay, thank you, Ash, for the chart pattern. Now we cannot wait to see our cryptocurrency expert, Simon Williams. Simon, please show us your trade for this week.
Hello guys, I am going to show you my trade of the week. My trade of the week is the Aussie Kiwi short. Why am I taking it short? A couple of reasons. These yellow horizontal lines on my chart are monthly horizontal support and resistance. This has been nice resistance for a very, very long time. I like the way it's pulled back off of this 109 level. The last two times, it's three times even that it's gone up to hit that level. We've had a really nice pullback. My stochastic RSIs at the top are all in alignment. I like everything about it because I also like the fact that the seasonality is in line with me. So if we look at this middle of October move up to November, if we look back, we can see that's these three green candles here, and we turn the corner the first week of November and we sell off from there, we hope. So that's my trade of the week. I am short Aussie Kiwi. Back to you, Sylv.
Thank you, Simon. Now it's time for our founder for Action to Wealth, Paul Botterill. Please, your time now.
Yes, so we thank you. Next, we're going to go to Sam and do the Wheel of Names. Sam, are you available? So she's going to go to the Facebook page. She's taken everybody who filled in the criteria, posted their name in the Facebook page. She's going to put them on the Wheel of Names, and we're going to find out two, first and second. They're going to come into the Zoom, and if they come into the Zoom, the first one in. Okay, let's spin that. There we go. The first person to have a chin up is M. M, can you come into the Zoom, please, M, straight away? We'll ask you for your trade. I know you're going to be our first thief in the night. You're going to be the first person to steal one of our trades, and I cannot wait for it. That is fantastic. Next up, we've got the second spin of the wheel, please, Sam.
Ooh,
Rose, can you come in as well? If M doesn't make it into the Zoom, M is number one, Rose is number two. If N comes in, it's her that gets the choice of the trade. If she doesn't, then Rose gets the choice of the trade. We're going to give them a few minutes to do that. Sylvie, back to you.
Thank you, Paul. Now the time we're gonna see your trade for this week, Paul. Please show us your trade for this week.
Looking forward to this one, Sylvie. My trade of the week, and I am going to go. Mine's a simple trade. Look, I'm going to go long on XTI USD. It's an oil one. Those who know my trading strategy well know that I like 20-day moving average bounces. We've seen a bounce off the 20-day moving average here. This is the exponential moving average. This is the simple moving average. And we've seen a level of respect to both here and here. We've seen respect here. So we've seen this continually come to these moving averages and bounce away. They're spending a little bit of time here. We're just seeing the bounce away here. For me, my feeling is that look, if you're watching oil prices, you've got experts telling you 150 by Christmas. You've got experts telling you 70 by Christmas. It's hard to pick, but I think we may see a little bit of a run back up this week. We have seen a little bit of selling since that high up around $95, maybe a month or so ago. So I'm looking for a rally in this. I'm aware I've got monthly pivot and horizontal level in the way, so I don't think it's going to be a big winner, but I think we may end up there by next Monday, maybe a little bit higher if we can break through those big levels. Rightio, so that's my trade. Next up, we're going to see if the winners have come into the Zoom. M and Rose, are you in the Zoom? In fact, what we might do instead of just coming straight to them, let's do. So we can go back to you, and we'll do Ash's chart pattern. Then we'll do Simon's crypto stuff, and then we'll check whether our winners are in the chat, and we can get them in and have them take their trade. So back to you. Let's go and do Ash's chart pattern, then Simon's crypto update, and then we'll get them in to place their trades.
Okay. The secret of successful trader is never stop to learn and improve. So Ash will gonna show us how is chart pattern and analysis. Ash, please.
Thank you very much, Sylvie. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, you do need to kind of to put as much work in as possible and see if you can start recognizing some repetitions in the market. Interesting, Simon's Euro Aussie Kiwi trade this week, because actually it is part of the chart pattern of the week. And what we see here on this chart pattern are multi-peaks. This is called the multi-peak. Now you could also see with this multi-peak, you might be looking at a couple of different things here. There's this M topping pattern here, and it makes the letter M, comes down. But the fact that we've also got this area over here kind of gives us that multi-peak scenario. There's a peak here, A, we got B, and we got C down here. And what we'd be looking for with this is for it to break through the bottom area. And when it breaks through that bottom area, really interesting to see what happens, because two things we'd start to look and aim for here. So this is the first sort of like part of it there. There's the bottom area. And if we kind of draw the peaks together at the top here, then we can look at this as a potential measurement of the move. Now, we'd want it to break down here first. But if it did break down to that particular point, then we'd be looking at a measured move coming into this zone down here as a horizontal level. Now, around about 1/3 of the time, this type of pattern breaks down 20%. So if this was to run down around about 20% of the price, then we're looking actually all the way down here. So Simon may well be onto a bit of a cooker here if it can break down the pattern. So we'll be looking maybe this area of support down here, or this area of support down here. So it's called the multi-peak high, and it's a distribution pattern as people start to distribute one currency and start to buy up the other currency. But the key is breaking the neckline. There we go, Sylvie, back to you.
Thank you, Ash. That's very interesting. Now, very interesting market also and fluctuative is cryptocurrency. So Simon, please show us the trade.
Great, thank you, Sylvie. So, guys, last week we spoke about the Bitcoin rally and why it happened and why it was so ferocious. We spoke about the low supply, 70% of Bitcoin held, has not been transacted over 1 year. And we can see this on chain. So we're not guessing. We had low Bitcoin volume on exchanges, September being the lowest month in 7 years. Over leveraged short positions combined with limited supply and an increase in demand made for a turbocharged rally. The BlackRock ETF narrative was the fuel injector, and everything we've just mentioned above provided the turbos that charged that 30% move up. So where does Bitcoin go from here? Well, the global macro picture will always be in charge. Whilst we consider Bitcoin to be risk off within the cryptoverse, we can't claim the same in the macroverse. Bitcoin has never been a flight to safety as far as the macroverse is concerned, but is the tide turning? Is Bitcoin about to become the flight to quality that BlackRock boss Larry Fink suggests it is? Or does he have an ulterior motive, perhaps? Look, it remains to be seen, and it's my guess that we find out the answer to that in the next 6 to 9 months as a recession, hard or soft landing, seems almost certain. With all this Bitcoin hurrah over the last 3 weeks, nobody seems to have noticed the S&P seen here, which has been heading south since the middle of July until last week, of course, when risk returned to the market and the dollar had a week off, let's say. If Bitcoin is to be deemed a risk asset, it will only be able to ignore this S&P downturn for so long. This is an interesting looking chart. If you divide the S&P by the money supply, or M2, as we know it, this is what it looks like. We talk about this a lot in my trader Telegram channel. No time on this show to dig into this or any of these charts any further, unfortunately. Plenty of time to do that in the Telegram channel, though. You'll notice I haven't mentioned altcoins once in the last 2 or 3, well, since we've started this crypto section. I've not mentioned altcoins at all. And despite the fact that they rallied hard over the last 3 weeks, Solana, you can see Solana here, a prime example, up a whopping 100% in the last 3 weeks. But make no mistakes, the altcoin rally was Bitcoin induced. Altcoins just followed through. I'm not really that keen on talking about altcoins on this show. I won't be until all of my altcoin criteria is met. We track that criteria on a weekly basis in my Trader Club channel. Email contact@actionstowealth.com for subscription details. Here's a sneak preview. It's the sort of alpha that we share with the subscribers in the channel. So take a good look at this chart. It's the Bitcoin dominance chart. During the last cycle, the Fed pivot, the orange line, marked the Bitcoin dominance top. Now, what does that mean? It means that as soon as the Fed pivoted in April 2019, Bitcoin dominance topped out and liquid left the safety of Bitcoin and began to move into risk being altcoins. The charts don't lie. They are the one constant. I have a strong feeling that history will repeat itself in 2024 when the Fed, if the Fed decides it's time to cut rates. Latest predictions put that Fed pivot around Q2 of 2024. Interestingly enough, about the same time as the Bitcoin halving. Is that history repeating and rhyming again? We will find out. More crypto bites next week. In the meantime, I'm going to hand you back to Sylvie.
Thank you, Simon. Thanks. So now we have to invite the winners for this week.
And my understanding is that neither of the winners are in the room. So we'll just have another look, but I can't see Em in the room and I can't see Rose in the room. And what we're going to do is we are going to, right now, we are going to jackpot this to $2,250 next week. So our trades will sit in the market and we will play for $2,250 next week. I'll make sure that the link to register for that is up again tomorrow. And we'll see if we can get as many people to come in and play us for $2,250 next week. All you got to do is put your name on the list in the Facebook page. Then you've got to be here when we spin the wheel of names and come in the room and tell us your trade so you can see if you can beat us. But our unbeaten run will continue for another week, gentlemen. I'll tell you what I am going to do. Here's what I am going to do. We're going to do our sports bets. And at the end of the sports bets, we're going to check back. And if either of them have come in, it's theirs, and we're going to take their bet and we're going to do it, give them a chance. And if they're not, and we're just going to auto jackpot because there's a few people in this room that wouldn't mind playing for $2,250 next week, I'm pretty sure. Rightio, so we'll be back to you on the sports bets.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Now, I know boys always excited to talk about sports, so I'm gonna hear your bet, boys. First, Ash, I want to see your bet, please.
No, well, you don't want to see my bet from last week, Sylvie. It was an absolute horror show. So in the last few moments of the game, Newcastle decided to get a contentious penalty. To be fair, I don't think Arsenal really were worthy winners anyway. But I'm going to go with my team this week, Sylvie. I've got Tottenham Hotspur. They are my team that I follow. Obviously those and Brighton, but I'm going to go with Tottenham Hotspur to beat Chelsea. Now that's tonight, so I'm going to try and sort of like get a resolution tonight. I also like Tottenham versus Wolves at the weekend, but I thought I'd try and go for an early one. And it doesn't pay quite as well. This pays 17-14, so slightly better than 1-1. We're going to get on this this particular bet. Chelsea have been in pretty poor form. Tottenham are now second in the Premier League, but if they win tonight, they're going to go back top. So I'm going to back them to win. Come on, the Spurs. Tottenham to beat Chelsea for next week.
Good call.
Back to you, Sylvie.
Okay, thank you, Ash. I love Chelsea, so I hope you can still.
Don't talk. Don't talk. Don't say anymore.
Okay, Simon. Now I want to see your bet, please.
Yeah, so my little golden run's over. Unfortunately, I had last week Man City, Liverpool, and Real Madrid. I mean, you'd think you'd get two of those, right? Liverpool screwed up last night. Real Madrid screwed up yesterday. Left me out of pocket. This week's bet, I didn't mean to cheat, but one of mine's already in. So I had City and Bournemouth, which I already had over here. Seem to have got it twice for some reason. But on top of that, to go with that, I've got the Champions League midweek. I've got Atletico Madrid to beat Celtic, and I've got Real Madrid to beat Braga. If that comes in, £100 pays 179, so call it 0.8 profit if the next two come in. Back to you, Sylvie.
Thank you so
sensational
much.
result that Luton Liverpool result, wasn't it? Jeepers creepers, Luton beat them 1-0, didn't they? What was it?
No,
that was paying.
1-1.
The draw.
1-1.
I was
1-1
right.
in
So
the end.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Last time I saw it was about 92 minutes. Liverpool scored at
Yeah.
the end to get a point. Oh,
Yeah,
Luton will
Harvey
be
Elliott.
gutted with that. I think Luton are paying about $15 to win this week. You push Liverpool to the last minute. You think you might be becoming a little bit. Back to you, Sylvie.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, now last I want to hear your bet, Paul.
There we go. My bet last week, I had the Kiwi Rugby League side to beat Australia in the Pacific Nations final. They were rank outsiders, but I took them at a 12.5 point. I gave them a 12.5 point start at $1.90. They were to win 30-0, so they won comfortably. To be honest, I feel as if I left a bit of money on the table there, to be completely honest. But this week, I'm going to be upfront with you guys. My bet I'm going to give out is Australia to win the ICC Cricket World Cup. They're paying $4 on the New Zealand TAB. I would suggest to you that they're paying more than that elsewhere. I'm going to put the bet on the basis that India is the best team in this event by a long, long way. They're at home and they should win. But their ability to lose finals in the last few years is massive. And honestly, South Africa, the other real contender to win it, they've also got a massive history of choking. One thing the Australians won't do in this World Cup is choke. If India or South Africa play their best, they'll beat Australia. But whether these groups of players can play their best under pressure is under question. What I'm going to tell you straight up is I'm not going to take the bet. It's the best bet I can see today, but I'm not 100% convinced in it. And I've nearly doubled my TAB account since we've been playing this game. I love this game, the sports betting game. So if you want it, that's my tip. I'll come back and give you something a bit more passionate about next week. Mate, does that mean that it's time to have a look and see? I can. Well done, Crystal, for last week. I liked that dollar yen trade. And what's more, you led for most of the week until Friday. The dollar yen trade was well out in front. I thought it was a really good trade. I feel for you that it didn't quite follow through, but there'll be a lot of people that are happy that we're playing. We were paying for $2,000 this week. We're paying $2,250 next week. Guaranteed jackpot. Make sure you get your name in there. Get on the wheel of names. If I was you, I'd slip Sam a little bit of cash if you can get your name pulled out so you can have a chance at winning that money. Have a good week. It's trading, and that means we'll look to make sure we look after our capitals. Take care of yourselves. Be well, and we'll see you back next week. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from you guys.
Certainly
Cheers,
is.
guys.
Have a good week, guys. See you soon.